patiently.
What's happening?
Our intro's awesome.
All right. I guess that was it. Perfect. Here we are. I know we're a little late on our Sunday. Normally we do a Sunday morning show, but for tonight we have a special guest all the way from San Francisco, so we had to make the time jump. Please, I know it's cold shoulder, but please introduce yourself and let us know what band you're
Hi,
from and who you are.
I'm Jacob. I play drums in the band Cold Children. We're based out of San Francisco, California.
Nice. Nice. And how many of you are there in Cold Shoulder?
There's four of us, so guitar, bass, drums, and the singer. And
Right on.
Marcus, Joe, and Jason. Those are the other members.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
So,
Awesome. So go ahead, TJ.
oh, I was just gonna say, being all the way from San Francisco and all, with the weather and shit. Like, are you guys on spring, summer? Like, how does it work in the? Just everyone I've interviewed so far, they've always been somewhere else in the world. So, might as well catch up with what the weather's like out there.
Yeah, right now it's heating up. We're it's about 90 degrees today, so it's getting hot. Yeah, it's getting there. But like
Amazing.
a couple weeks ago, it was 60, and now it's 90, and next week it could be cold again. So it's been a little ridiculous.
Okay, so what's the coldest temperature you guys saw this year?
Probably not cold compared to you guys. I don't know, 35 degrees, 30 degrees.
Oh,
Maybe.
you didn't even drop below zero.
No,
Wow,
at least not where I'm at. No,
that's all right.
Yeah, that's not
it's like t-shirt
terrible.
weather, right?
Mhm, mhm.
For us, yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
So,
That's awesome.
tell us a bit about the new video you guys just put out the other day. Actually.
So yeah, for Can You? So yeah, we just put out a new song, Can You, last Friday. So we filmed that back in November at a state park in Chico, California. So we kind of showed up and we're DIY, so we may or may not have acquired permits and just showed up. And fortunately, we didn't get kicked out. Nothing happened. We were good to go. People actually kind of find it cool. It's surprising. We're always worried about getting kicked out of these places, and people think we're bigger than we are and take pictures and ask what our band name is and stuff. So it's actually kind of funny. But so for any bands out there, you probably don't need a permit. But I don't know.
Right on. Yeah, especially right now with the way things are. Like there's not a lot of people out and about doing things anyway, right? So, it's interesting to see how people have been creative to get through all of this. So, like, how has it benefited you guys?
I think we got better at, we used to just kind of get together. Someone would have an idea and we'd jam on it for 3 hours and maybe have a song by the end of the night. When all this stuff kind of started happening, it kind of changed the way we write. More of writing at home, getting together, kind of pitching that to the band, and then working on it. So we could end up with 2, 3 pretty much done songs by the end of the 3-hour rehearsal versus stammering through something we've never heard before. So we record a lot on our own, like upload it to a cloud-based thing, send it out. We'll change some stuff at home. So then when we get together, it's very kind of focused in on what we're going to be working on, and it's not so much of it's saying, does this work in real life, more so than what are we going to do here? So yeah, we've changed a lot of the way we write, and then really have leaned into social media because can't really play shows. So trying to think outside the box and how to, I don't know, make our fans kind of part of our social media instead of us just like asking for people to listen to us and look at stuff.
No, that's a great way to approach it, actually. Like, just sit by and do nothing. Like that would be just
Mhm.
be retarded on everyone's aspect of that, right? So
Yeah, we went through a little lull right when it first, like, because we had some shows booked that we were happy about, and then they got canceled, and we were just like, man, what are we gonna do? So, a little bit of a lull there, but then we ended up recording some songs and kind of staying productive. So,
Right
no,
on.
that's good to hear, man. So you guys were on tour before all this happened?
no, we've never toured. Some of the members have in different projects, but not in culture.
Not as a cold shoulder. You guys haven't actually done a full tour.
Not yet.
That's got to be hard, man. Like knowing that, you guys could have just broke out, poof. Because I've seen a fair bit of your videos. I've gone over your music now, and it's fantastic. Like I can't believe you guys. Once the world opens up, you guys are gonna go far for sure, man. So,
Definitely.
Hope so.
so
Yeah, we're just having fun.
yeah, you guys are pretty new then as a band in general. Like it's not like you guys have been together for 10 or 15 years or whatever then, eh? So how did you guys end up pulling all this together? How did you meet everyone and become a band?
So Marcus and I, the singer and I, were in a previous project together, and kind of wanted to start our own thing. So naturally, we started scouring Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and all those wonderful places. And we found an ad of Joe, the guitar player, and Jason, the bass player, looking for a singer and a drummer. And we're like, no, this is too good to be true. There's no way this is going to work out. So we hit them up, ended up talking back and forth. And pretty quickly, we met up at a Chili's where all good things happen. And
Yeah, always.
we talked a little bit. We got along, realized like, okay, we should maybe get together and play some stuff. And it's like November or so of 2018 is probably the first time we got together and played a bunch of cover songs. And it kind of happened quick from there. We started writing and rehearsing every week. And I don't know, I guess it wasn't too good to be true because it's been working out thus far. So.
Oh, it's been fantastic. I'm sure Amanda's got a question for us now.
Way to put me on the spot, TJ.
You know it.
usually TJ's got a question lined up versus, hey, Amanda's got a question.
I do.
I do. I always have questions. But that was not what I was expecting to come out of TJ's mouth. So what's your best mosh pit story, whether from being on the stage or being in front of a stage, in front of a band?
So I've never been in a mosh pit. Don't judge me.
Really?
No. Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
You can.
Have you been to a live show? Have you seen a concert?
Yeah, I've been a lot. I've just never. I'm
who
like
have you seen then?
5'7".
Okay.
The mosh pit
let's redirect the question.
Doesn't appeal to me.
But, yeah, no, I hear you.
So the last show let's see, the last show. So it was Crowbot, but we played with them, so I don't know if that counts.
That counts.
Okay, so Crowbot, but before that, I've seen, I don't know, Iron Maiden, Ghost, Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, so you're
right on.
I've seen 3 Days Grace, Breaking Benjamin, Chevelle, Sick Pies.
Here's your man card back.
No, that's awesome. Seven Dust is amazing. They are amazing.
Man, that's the drummer for that band is that's my man.
Wow. Yeah, right on. Yeah, no, so mosh pits appeal to some people and they don't appeal to other people. Like I didn't do mosh pits until I was 37 years old. So, I did when I was younger, and then I didn't do them for a long time, and now I do them all the time. Well, when Pardon?
Yeah, right.
I'll take this as a hint. I said definitely.
No, it is what it is, right? I usually say mosh pit story, but any good concert story, for me, it's a mosh pit story usually. But you know, we all have that one show or that one story, you know, that one thing that happened, or that, like for me, I got to stand next to the lead singer of Clutch and watch Motorhead.
That's cool.
That'd be
So,
all right.
you know, and we were in a tiny little club called the Cool House. I don't think it held more than 1,000 people. And
That's amazing.
I got yelled at by Motorhead for putting my fingers in my ears in the front row. I mean, like, I could have died a happy woman that night and it wouldn't have mattered.
That's
So,
awesome.
you know, and I mean, I wasn't in the mosh pit for that. So, you know, do you have any moments like that at shows where you're just like, this is the moment that changes my life?
I think it was probably the first time I saw Seven Dust. So I've Morgan Rose of that was like when I was a kid. The Seven Dust song was the first song I attempted to play. And always looked up to
Nice.
that dude. So like going to a Seven Dust show, I don't know, I was 15 or something. And like standing kind of on the side in the front and just watching him the whole time was just like, this is amazing. Like I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. Like, I don't know. That was a really, really cool moment. Just seeing him at work.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And the thing that made me like actually want to play music was my dad was in a band, and going to like shows as a kid, I was like, I want to do that. Like the drums were always like that I like that thing.
Your main focus,
Right
right?
on.
So
So it's hereditary.
yeah.
I guess.
So like, who were some of the drummers and bass players never get enough recognition? So like, who were some of your idols and for drumming? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I mentioned him, but Morgan Rose, one of the second drummer for Breaking Benjamin, his name's Chad. Chad Slugza. I hope I said that right. And then Chevelle, I really like the simple drumming of his name's escaping me right now.
It's all good.
It's simple, but it's like one of those things you go to play and you're like, oh, there's a lot going on here, but you can't really tell. And then same thing, kind of a left field one, but Carl Buford from Dave Matthews Band. That guy is insanely good.
That's so
Nice.
true.
Yeah.
It's like a jazz,
yeah, I
that
like
jazz
Dave
style
Matthews
thing,
Band.
and that
Mhm.
it's that same thing where you don't notice it, and then you sit down to play it or really start picking it apart. And you're like, this guy's really good.
It's the
That's
small
awesome.
techniques that you learn. Our buddy Dan from Spingali there, we were talking with him. He's an amazing drummer as well. Holy. But he's like, it's those little things that you learn over time. You put in your time and you put in your effort, and then that's when that rolls out and you notice that. And then as yourself as a drummer, you see those little things and you're like, yeah, you know, it's just as you said, Chevelle, that great band. Most people, like you said, say they're a simple drum beat, but it's not. The way it rolls, the way it flows with that music, there's more there to it than just going, you know. You know better than I do. Mm-hmm.
Right on. Awesome. That means it's
So-
you, TJ.
Oh, I was going to ask, being from San Francisco, what are some of the local bands there? Like, what's your music scene like there in general? Like, I'm not saying right now, given the circumstances and all that shit, but what's the music scene like there? Is it good? Is it happening? Like, do you guys?
It's good. Sacramento probably has more of a rock scene right now, which is about it's about an hour and a half from San Francisco, so it's not crazy far, but more rock, metal, more of that, you know, our genre. San Francisco is a lot of hip hop now, and a lot of some of the venues, they'll kind of do both types of music, and rock doesn't necessarily bring the same amount of people. So when you put out a show, there's a lot of not guarantees. You know, you have to bring X amount of people and kind of promise that you can bring 30 people or whatever. And
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but the music scene's that's pretty good. there's a lot of good bands. It's changed a little bit. It's not like when Metallica was coming up in San Francisco.
No.
The holy grail.
Yeah.
There's still you just have to work a little harder, but there's still ways, you can still make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's good to see that bands are pushing through.
Yeah, that was my next question, was like, as far as bands that are still going and still really trying to work through, have you guys in your area, have you seen success with bands sticking together and making music and stuff like that? Like, has it been more of a bands are getting better and getting together and doing, not necessarily together, but like doing more things, or do you guys find that you're losing your music scene? Because I know here we're 50-50 right now. It could go either way.
I kind of feel that as well. I think the bands that have kept trucking are doing well and probably, maybe better than they ever been. But there's also, I've seen a lot of my buddies posting like, we haven't gotten together or talked in a year. And it's like, man, that's not good. So I could go, things could open up and they're like, screw it, let's start playing some shows again. But I do think there are probably some bands that might not have lasted through as well, which that's never good.
No, not one bit. And then even your venues, like I know here we've lost quite a few venues, right? I can only imagine what it was like there. How many?
Slim's, I don't know if you guys heard of Slim's, but that was an amazing venue, and they didn't go under, but they sold off, and now it's going to become like a dance club. So, not really a music venue anymore. And then another good venue up in Sacramento is getting sold. It sucks to see that, because there's some of the venues that gave us a shot. So it's like,
there's history in there. There's that sweat. How many bands have played in there before that became huge? You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah, we have a place here. Well, I'm in Niagara Falls and TJ's in Barrie. We have a place in between the two of us in Toronto called I lost my train of thought.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
I was going somewhere with this. We have a place in Toronto called the Opera House, and it's probably one of the best venues that we've had. And now it's still going. Some legendary bands have been there and hopefully are still booked there. But we've also lost a few good ones, like the Coalition, and that bar has seen all kinds of metal and rock and stuff like that. So like, is there one specific that you've seen close, and is there one specific spot that has stayed open that are of equal value to the music scene?
Yeah, so it was called the Boardwalk. That was a venue in Sacramento that nationwide bands come there, like bands that you've heard of and local bands, and they were really supportive, and it was a great place. And I just saw recently that they're getting sold. So I mean, it could still come back, right? It just might be a different owner, but you never know with this kind of things. And then another venue, Holy Diver in Sacramento. So
that's one I've heard of.
That venue is amazing, and they're still around. So like, when we played there for the first time, it was just like a showcase show. Like, it wasn't anything special or whatever, but it's just, I've been there to see shows, and it's just really cool it's a pretty small venue. I don't know, maybe 300-500 people, but like, it gets rowdy. So
that's like the Opera House.
It's a good
about
size.
3,200, I think it is, and then it's always a great show, though.
I don't even think the Opera House is that many people, to be honest with you.
Hey, maybe Brandon can fact check that while we're talking.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Maybe pull that fact up while we're fucking shooting the shit.
Yeah, I don't even think the Opera House can hold that many. But the Coalition was like that. They only held like 150 people, and it got dirty in there. It did, and it like, it was probably one of the grossest bars I've ever been in, but it's probably one of my favorite bars that I've ever, like, I mean, we had Johnny No Cash on the show a little while ago, and he was saying like, it's just that rotten piss smell that you just,
Crave it.
that's what we're
ground. Your feet stick
that's
to
what
the
we're
ground.
missing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how they light the incense and walk through the bar, right?
Yeah.
So, but those are the things we miss, you know. Like I was at the Coalition one night, and I watched some guy up next to the gaming machine, and they were closing anyway, right? Like this was the last weekend or second to last weekend that they were open, and this guy threw up beside I think it was a wrestling game. And the next night, I watched one of the bouncers put a garbage can over it instead of them cleaning it
There
up.
we go.
And it
That's
was
good to go.
it was terrible. No, it was disgusting. It was terrible. But it was like the weekend that they were closing, right? So like those are the things, though. Those are the little stories that people have to tell, though. Oh, I can't see what the capacity
There it
is.
is. Max capacity,
Six-
I hope a lot of
680 people.
950 in total, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Brandon. Fuck, guys,
Thank
amazing.
you.
backstage.
So yeah, absolutely, man, he is. But those are the little things, those little extras that,
Yeah.
that help add to the venue over time, right? Because it's that, like we say, it's that like dank basement smell, or the you know, the broken stall in the bathroom, or the stickers everywhere. Or those are the
Stickers.
you know, the little pieces that make the
The stickers are the best.
Yeah,
And the
you know, those
writings
are the
on the wall. The writings on
writing
the
on the wall.
wall were always the best, man. Be taking a piss, you got a whole novel to read all around you, right? Like little short stories everywhere.
Yeah.
But on a good note, man, you guys, as we talked about earlier, June 11th,
June 11th. Yep.
tell us a little bit about that day.
Our debut EP will be coming out June 11th. There'll be some familiar songs. There'll be some new songs. It's an EP, but it is like 8 songs, so it's a larger EP. It's not like a 4-song EP.
Nice.
But we put out some of the songs, so we didn't feel right maybe necessarily calling it an album. But it's an 8-song EP, so it's it's a little bit larger than some of the ones I've seen. Yeah, June 11th.
All right, though. No, you guys also have merch and stuff, do you not?
Yep, we do. So you can get
Tell
that
us
on
a
our
little
website.
bit about that.
ColdShoulderBand.com/shop. You could, or just go to Cold Shoulder Band right there, boom, on the screen, because Brandon's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, we have merch up on there too. So
Right.
Nice, that's
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
Now-
where else can we find you? Sorry.
all the music services, so Spotify, Apple Music, Napster. Napster actually has music. They pay. So funny thing,
Pardon?
Napster pays more money than any other streaming service per stream. Isn't that
No
ironic?
way.
Yes,
That's
I
weird,
swear.
man.
I learned something today.
Yeah, because when you like submit your music, it kind of shows all the distributors that you can select and send it to, and I was like, no way, Napster, huh? Yeah, and they actually pay the most per like the royalty per stream, which is I just think that's
Really?
yeah.
Wow. Because lately,
I'm shocked.
it's probably 80 to 90% of the bands are all about Bandcamp at the moment, as far as Canada goes. But to hear that's because that's pretty cool, man. Fucking
I don't know if anyone like uses it.
I have
That's
to
what I
admit,
mean.
I didn't know
but
that. Yeah,
trying.
Napster still existed. To be honest
No.
with you, I didn't.
thought
I
they
didn't know
went under.
Napster still
It's just a
existed.
streaming service now, but they've
Yeah?
pivoted, but a legal
Oh,
streaming
hey,
service.
Little shout out to Napster for fucking
I
paying
guess.
more than everybody else, man. Fucking
I
cheers.
feel like I have some reading to do after the show.
Yeah.
Because the only time I ever hear about Napster is just, you know, the whole Metallica
Yeah.
That's
disaster.
all I've ever. That's how I first heard of Napster, and that was the last thing I ever heard of Napster. Right? So
Yeah.
I don't even know if
I
I
mean-
pronounced that properly.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, but Napster and Tidal, I don't know if those ones like pay the most, but I just don't know if they're not as mainstream as like Spotify or something. But
Yeah.
Well, no,
There's so many
not
services.
at all.
There
Yeah.
is. That's the great thing about that one link there we have. It takes you to all your streaming services, eh? The Apple Music, you're on Spotify, YouTube, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's amazing.
Yeah, I read
So
that
I'm
recently, and I just thought that was hilarious. I
No, that is. That's hey,
yeah,
the more we know, right? The better we are.
I know a little bit more today. I've crammed in
Perfect.
a lot of learning over the weekend. I feel like I maybe did some school this weekend,
Yeah,
right
right.
now included. Oh, I learned a lot, man. There's all kind, like, not just as far as music goes. There's a lot of things opening up for opportunity to do things in different ways, right? Especially with the
Yeah.
way COVID has happened to us and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like, there's some great editing programs out there. There's some great camcorders that are really good prices right now, whether they're brand new or refurbished. It can do all kinds of stuff. It's pretty nice to see that there's opportunity to do other things right now as far as creating content goes. Because I mean, for most musicians, I myself am not, but I am in the music scene, and for most musicians, creating the content, being on stage was a part of it, right? So now we have to find different to outlet that. So it's nice to see that there's so many things available, and for free too, as far as
Yeah, there's a lot
programs
of
and
good stuff.
apps and stuff like that go.
Hmm.
So
That's
is there
something.
No.
anything you find?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're the
So
guest.
I think I jumped the gun there, but basically you were just asking anything we've kind of done content-wise. I'm assuming you're kind of going.
Uh, no, I was
well,
just going to ask how you've been creative in other ways with all those
Okay.
different services that are out there for us to attain.
So yeah,
And I
we've
so terribly cut TJ off.
that's all
Sorry.
good.
I've learned video editing just for doing like I think one thing that's been not exposed but elevated during the pandemic and stuff is just content. You can't just like put out a music video and just leave it. Like there needs to be a lot of different pieces of content just to like keep saying like, hey, have you seen our song yet? But without saying, check out our song again. Like you're like, oh, here's the behind the scenes video. Here's the behind the scenes of how we made the song. Oh, we did an acoustic version. Like those types of things. So that's something we've been doing. So we filmed everything when we recorded in the studio. So then editing that together into like a behind the scenes type of thing. When you're at a video shoot, just filming yourself
Right.
doing the video shoot. But just doing a lot of those extra pieces of content. It's all about content now, I guess, which I hate that word at this point, but
I'm the same. Yeah, but it's true.
important.
It's how it works.
And attention spans are so small. So
I know, 30 seconds. We talked about this last night when I was talking with Crossdog out of Peterborough here, right here, one of our best local bands that I think, anyways. But
They are
we were
pretty good.
talking about how nobody listens to a complete album anymore. You know what I mean? And that's a shame because you guys put that into that art, like it's art,
Right.
whether it's a painting or it's your music. You put those feelings in that right into that music. And just to hear one song 30 fucking times a day on the radio, that sucks. I want to hear the entirety album. Like I really enjoy listening to the full album, right? Like,
Yeah.
and you don't find that anymore. It's hard to find that.
Yeah, I think something that a lot of artists and we're kind of doing the same thing where you put out a bunch of singles and then you combine them and say, here's our album. But I'm the same way. I love albums. I still buy CDs or vinyl or whatever, but I guess we're the weird ones. I don't know, but
no,
There's more of us out
we
there
were
than you
talking
think,
about
dude.
that. Go ahead, Amanda.
Oh no, I just said there's more of us out there than you think.
Oh, no, it's true. And we were talking backstage about the price of even producing your CDs because you guys are independent artists as well, right? So you looked into vinyl and you looked into your CDs and then just digitally. Like that's got to weigh on the decisions on how you promote yourself then, eh?
Yeah, because CDs are cheap at this point, but vinyl, mean, I'm glad it's having a resurgence. It's amazing, but just you'd have to be able to sell, at least a couple hundred to make it worth it.
Yeah. Like you can't just make them one at a time that way. They've got to be actually masterpieces.
Just to master, it's like $1,000, and then that's not even making it. So it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
I just follow up for myself,
So true though.
Yeah, it's vinyl. I don't know. When it made a comeback, it really made a weird comeback for like, I don't know, well, hypothetical timeline of 6 months. It was like every album was so cheap, or you could find like crates of them or whatever.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden somebody was like, hey, this vinyl's $45. And somebody went, I'll pay that. And now all vinyls are super expensive. But I've also heard that in the last little while, with everything that's gone on, because some companies have shut down, things don't exist anymore. Certain things are a little bit more rare than they were before because these companies are shutting down and stuff like that. So like that kind of contributes to the price of vinyl. And we've been lucky that it hasn't nailed any other types of getting your music out there. Like cassettes aren't terrible to make right now. CDs are still okay to make right now. A lot of people, sell their music online and stuff like that. So aside from like being on all the streaming things, are you guys on cassette or CD or anything like that?
No, not cassette. Our EP is available on CD though. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Why do you always laugh when I say cassette, TJ?
I don't know. It takes me back to the day because my sister's a bit older than me. So growing up watching her watch much music and fucking putting in whether it was a cassette and recording the radio so she could listen to her songs, or it was recording the videos off of MTV when they used to have fucking music and stuff on there. Like that's kind of where I get my passion. I guess I absorbed it through my sister taking that time and that effort to record it perfectly. And then she'd make 10 more copies and give them to her friends. You know what I mean? And that's how the music used to be spread in that sense. Yep. It all started by a campfire. And then it spread from there, and then we learned how to make cassettes, and then we learned how to make records and fucking 8-track. Now we have radio waves to get it out there, and here we are on the fucking internet, spreading the word still. Like music, probably the oldest part of culture you can bring back to actually bringing people together, and other than food, eating and music and fire, right? Like
there's an old Newfoundland song. I can't remember the name of the guy who sings it, but it's called Music and Friends. And TJ, what you just said is exactly what the whole song is about. That's how cool. It's like I myself am a metalhead. The heavier, the better for me. I do like music versus just metal. But my kid's father is from Newfoundland, and I tell you, some of the most timeless and some of the most fun parties I've ever been to have been in or come out of Newfoundland. That's cool. Definitely. Oh yeah, they are a whole world on their own. They're the eastern part of Canada, and they're a whole world on their own, man. It's like kitchen awesome. Parties are bigger than some of the concerts you go to there.
Yeah.
So that's right on.
Well,
so is there anything else you want the world to know that we haven't asked you?
Not really. No, the June 11th, that's the big date.
Yeah, June 11th, baby.
Check us out on Instagram. We try to post there pretty much daily. Yep. But yeah, those are the big things. Those are the big things.
On. Right on. That's awesome.
You guys are making some waves. Every time I make it onto YouTube, watch more of your music, your videos keep going up and up, more views and more views. So you guys are definitely on the right track with your music. Can't argue with that.
We're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. I only had a few minutes on my way home. I was on vacation this weekend. I only
Yeah.
had a few minutes to check you guys out on the way home, but I wish I had started earlier when I had gotten in the car, because your music was fantastic. It's
Appreciate that.
fantastic. So yeah, well, hey man, we appreciate musicians that put out good music. So thank
Well,
you.
good music is good music no matter where it comes from, man. So
That's right. That's right.
now I
So
do
you
have a
got
question about Know Your Enemy. That's kind of one of my favorite songs by you guys. Can you tell me a little bit about the writing of that song?
So that was one of the first songs we wrote.
I know.
No, like when getting together, like I'd mentioned earlier, we got together pretty quick, and end of 2018. Like Be Patient, Don't Call Me, Know Your Enemy, and Faithless. Those all happened within, I don't know, 2-3 months. Like it was pretty crazy. Joe, the guitar player, had like some riff ideas, and when we got together, we kind of structured it out, and Marcus sang over it, added the bass and the drums. But we're very, with all our songs, we're kind of collaborative with the writing. So someone will have like a riff idea, or whatever, and it's not like a one-man show in that aspect of it. We like to work together, and it brings all of our different influences. But yeah, Know Your Enemy, that was a very just, man, it just happened. It felt like it was one of those kind of one of those things.
Natural.
Yeah, wasn't work for that, just kind of, we're jamming, we're like, oh, that's cool, keep playing that, and then all of a sudden we have a song. So
Yeah, that's where all the best songs come from, though. When you guys just gel, whether it's you guys or Cross Dog or In Vale, all the other bands that we have, Dead Man's Prophecy, sorry, No Man's Prophecy.
the
DJ
video
just
on the
came
other
up with a
hand,
new band name.
Yeah. Go
filming
on
that
about the
was a
video.
nightmare. That was a nightmare. Yeah, so we actually filmed Faithless and Know Your Enemy. Those are on the same day. So we were being budget
Go on.
So Marcus, the videographer, and I drove up the day before and scouted to find locations and figure out what we're going to do 2 videos in a day. And of course, we did all this the day before to figure this out. Found a place. It was like 12 hours at like the last place we looked. Okay, we found a place that we wanted, like a woody location for Know Your Enemy, and then Faithless was like more at a beach, and then trying to find somewhere where we didn't have to drive to 2 places to make that happen was harder than we thought. We thought we'd just show up and it'd be no big deal. Yeah, so we got home at like, I don't know, midnight. Had to get up at like 4 the next day to drive out to get there by 7 or so. It was a little bit of a drive. Yeah, we literally filmed from like 8 in the morning to 2 a.m. that night, doing 2 different videos. And just, I don't recommend that. Don't do that. Like, if we look like zombies in the video, it's because we're tired. Like, we waited till it was nighttime and then filmed it. And then there was these 2 guys on a bike. They had like the 2-stroke, the 2-stroke. They put a 2-stroke engine on a bike, and they're riding through the woods.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a chainsaw. Like, it's midnight, and we hear like, and we're like, dude, we're gonna die right now. And they heard, and then they ended up driving by, and we scared them. They were scared of us. We were scared of them. They weren't sure what was going on. They thought we were the police or something. Like, we were all both scared of each other, and it kind of worked out. But like, it was this, for like 30 to 45 seconds, we thought that was the end of us.
Yeah, right. Some chainsaw
like, it was the
massacre
adrenaline we
coming out.
needed to finish.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's funny. It's funny when things like that happen unexpectedly. Not only does it make for a good scare, but it makes for a good story too.
Yeah.
So, right on. Yeah. Right on.
Do you have
That's
any
awesome.
other questions for Jacob?
No, every question I had, you either answered before I got the chance to, or I got to ask you. So, like, aside from the EP, like, and like, do you guys got anything else kicking around, that any tea to spill that we aren't supposed to know, but maybe like you can?
So we are recording our next batch of songs before our EP comes out.
I knew there was something in there.
and trying to put out. We want to put out songs more consistently, so 6 to 8 weeks or so, dropping a new song.
Right on.
With some sort of video and stuff. So we've been writing. We never stop writing, because you write 50 songs and like 3 of them are good. So
Right.
Yeah, no, that's so true though.
Yep.
I can't.
we're pretty
Same
like
with me.
pretty good at just like, we'll have an idea. We'll have like a powwow and listen to all of our ideas, and we kind of just shuck out the ones that we don't think have any potential. Then kind of go from there. But so we've been writing nonstop, and yeah, so the music won't be stopping from us anytime soon. So we're not just gonna put out the EP and disappear. That's what I didn't want. We didn't want to do that. So
right on. So you guys are definitely ahead of the game. Well, I guess you could call it pre-writing.
I guess so. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Which is,
I don't know if that's a thing. If it's not, it is now.
It is
well, you got to take advantage of the situation right now. Nobody's doing nothing, so
Yeah.
if you can just be ahead of the game when those gates open, you
That's
guys
right.
already have 2 albums ready to go.
Yeah.
Maybe
Right.
3 by the time they open up. You guys are laughing.
Writing's the fun part too. So it's like it's not like it's work or anything. It's some
Yeah.
of the other stuff is non-fun stuff, but the writing, that's like that's the best part. That's what I enjoy the most.
Me
Nice,
too.
sir.
Me too.
And the shows, obviously, but
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. But I myself, I'm a music biographer and writer, so like I don't necessarily have a process like musicians do, but the process itself is, for me, that is the adventure, is the process itself. So is there any shout outs you guys you want to give out? Any bands that you think we should be listening to here in Canada?
so yeah, a San Francisco-based band, The Watchers. They're awesome. The
Okay.
last album came out
Nice, TJ.
maybe 2 years ago, but I believe they're working on some new stuff. So they're pretty
Nice.
good. A band, good buddies with a band, and they're Stalin, but it's like there's periods after every letter, like it's a whatever.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
An acronym.
It's not. Yeah. Nice. Okay.
And then another local band, Yes Devil. Those are good bands, good
Oh.
dudes, good times.
They're on my
Okay.
list, actually.
Are they
3
sweet?
days ago, they came up on. Every few days, I'll sit down and I just go through all the new music that comes up on my thing, man. And they were one of the bands. That's awesome.
Yeah, right on.
So, yeah, they're good
Right
guys.
on. That's fantastic. So, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank
TJ,
you guys.
you got any
Yeah,
more
shout out to
questions?
you guys.
Oh.
Thank you.
TheBoneYard.
Hey, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate
Yeah,
you guys
we
coming on the
appreciate
show.
that. Yeah, definitely. Especially from all the way across another country, man. We appreciate
Well,
that.
we were laughing before backstage because I was actually a year ago almost. I was supposed to be in San Francisco sitting with these guys doing the interview in person.
Right on.
But,
Well, hey, you know what? It is what it is, and we're here right now. And this just opens up opportunity for us to have even more fun when you do get down there.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I bet. I know. There's some things that I may or may not know that are coming up that are going to be fun and exciting too. So
I've been seeing some stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We'll certainly keep you informed, especially you being where you are and us being where we are. We'll keep you informed. There's some new fun things coming out of Canada, and TJ and I got some stuff on the go too. So
Yeah,
Awesome.
always.
we'll let you know. We'll keep
Yeah.
you posted. So yeah, TJ, is there anything else that you want to ask?
Not really. I think we covered everything tonight. To actually tell you the truth, I'm kind of at a loss for words.
Yeah, well, we nailed it, man. We were on time. We have an absolutely fantastic guest. So we have Brandon running Restream for us backstage. Who
Shout out to Brandon.
There's a shout out that has to happen every single show.
Yeah.
Brandon's been fantastic, especially with you, TJ, over the weekend. I mean, I thanked you, but I have to thank the both of you for taking care of everything this weekend. And giving me that couple of days to just kind of
Him
pull
and I spend
all my projects and everything together. Like, thank you. You guys are amazing.
yeah,
And
no, him and I
Braden,
spend hours rescheduling, reworking everything,
yeah,
kind of reprogramming everything to make sure it runs smoother. We have
yeah,
our
yeah, I
Facebook
saw a
linked
lot of
up.
things.
He's,
So yeah,
you
no,
know, he's done excellent. So
yeah, no, between the two of you, you guys, like, you really have, you've done like a month's worth of work
no,
in a
you can see
weekend,
it in my
man.
hair. I just right. Just been
That's why all
chaotic.
mine's pulled back.
Yeah.
So,
So
but yeah, no, I mean, I think as far as things go, this interview right here just kind of shows the world where we're at as far as music goes, the way things are going for music. You know, there's people that are quitting every day, but there's a fuck ton of us that are not quitting. This is the first time I swore tonight. Which is, oh yeah, no, this is new.
yeah. Look at you being all professional.
Dude, I did quite a bit of work last night, but I have to say that I completely regrouped myself, did nothing, watched so many biopics, so many music biopics this weekend. Like, Bohemian Rhapsody was actually really good. It was really good, and I was a little weary on watching it, but it was fantastic. And you know, like, it was exhausting doing nothing all weekend. I got home today and I was like, oh my God, I need a nap.
Need a vacation from your vacation.
Well, yeah, no, it's your turn, TJ. You've been working your ass off for a while, and I think you need a fucking 2-day nap too. So, you know.
My days, not just yet.
Oh, I know.
We're gonna crush through this month because we have shows. We have 7 shows this week after today. Starting
Okay.
the new week, we have 7 more shows this week. This month's going to be busy. Next month's going to be just as busy, and then we're going to kind of step back, reschedule our programming. We have our new cooking show coming up very soon.
I know, that's
we have
awesome.
our travel network coming. I'm going to kind of spill a little tea myself. We might have a little wee Monday night comedy special happening kind of every Monday. We're working on that behind the scenes as well. So we're going to see where it takes us, right? We have our festival that we're building for next year, right?
Yep.
And then once it's built, obviously when Cold Shoulders on tour in North America, if our stage is up and running, we have a stage for you to play on, my friend. So
you guys are hustling too. That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're trying.
Every day, man.
To keep busy.
TJ and I have been partners since December, and I've never met somebody who hustles like I do when it comes to
a little self-promotion.
No, I do. It's very, like, I mean, you and I have been working together since December, and with all the projects that I have on the go, sometimes it's difficult to keep up with me. You know what I mean? But
I did pile a lot of projects on you. You know what I mean?
Well, hey, you know, this is it. We do what we love, right? You know, and on that note, I'm writing a Kiss book, and I didn't know that I'm slowly starting to love Kiss, but that's happening. So, you know, but like TJ and I both have tons of different projects on the go, and we've been working together since December, and he works his ass off. And that stage that he's been working on in between going to work and putting all his extra time into working on the Boneyard as well. So, like, if there's anybody in the world who doesn't sleep, it's this guy right here.
No,
so
not very often.
You know, I mean, you can say whatever you want about me shamelessly plugging myself, dude, but I'll swallow your head before the end of the show, because we're a good team and we should do that for each other. And same with the musicians we have on the show, dude. We're on point and are on point. You guys are doing fucking fantastic. So
thank you.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
I appreciate everything you do too, man.
So, Cold Shoulder, baby. Thank you so much for being on tonight, man. It was such an honor. And definitely on maybe in around shortly after EP comes out, we'll squeeze you on for a little special, man, and maybe we'll have you guys on again if you want.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, we'd love to have you on again, especially in around the time you release, and then I can throw it up
Yep.
right before the interview. People can check this out, make sure we hear your fucking awesome
definitely.
music you guys are putting out, you know.
Yeah, man, definitely. So yeah, so I guess on that note, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us tonight, man. It was a blast.
Thank you. It was fun.
Yeah, and I don't know, we'll do this again for sure.
Motherfucking Sunday.
Right? I know. I'm a little like, usually, like, I was already at, like, when I talked to TJ this morning, I was like, so show at 11? Or no, it was yesterday. I was like, show at 11? He's like, no, 7. Perfect. I didn't even sleep in. We were up at 6:30 and 7:30 both days.
Yeah, I was up pretty early networking.
So yeah, but all right. Well, on that note, thanks very much, man. And
Thank you.
yeah, Brandon can take us out whenever he wants. We'll do